The Tale of Florent is a framed poem tale written by John Gower in the late 14th century. It's about a knight who goes on a quest after killing the son of a castle captain. What's important to remember when you're reading this poem is that it's not in the modern age written in Old English, and that affects how we understand the text. So if you're going to be reading it, you may be reading a rendition of the original that was written in Old English. So I have a kind of a thing about that where, say, a novel is written in a different language and someone interprets it and translates it. The interpreter is affecting the interpretation a little bit, and we have the same thing happening here. So I would recommend that you read the original in Old English, but you can also get a good idea of what the story's about by reading them both. It's not really that long of a story, and I have a copy of the modern version at the end of this video. And what I'll do is I'll read for you a paragraph about that text. The translation below owes much to Russell A. Peck's Teens edition of this romance. Subtitles have been added in order to align Gower's tale with Chaucer's tale, to which similar titles are added, and the line numbers refer to the Confessio Amantis. Gower's switching back and forth between tenses, although frowned upon in the modern age, has been kept, and his rhyme tetrameter, a typical Romance meter, is imitated. The important thing to remember in that last line is that the rhymes, the rhyme schemes, are imitated. Okay, so here we are with a look at the first four lines of the Tale of Florent. Let me blow it up a little bit for you. So what we see is we've got the title. Here it was finished written, and we see that I've written iambic tetrameter. And what that means is that there are four sections of the text that are identified as being stressed. 2 syllables per section. So we have the unstressed, stressed, and what's happening here is the first unstressed syllable has been skipped, but that doesn't mean it's not iambic tetrameter. In the second section, we have stress, unstressed. Third section, we have stressed, unstressed. And the fourth section, we have stressed, unstressed. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. And tetra is another word meaning 4 or groups of 4. What you'll notice on the left is the poem line, and you'll see that it doesn't start on a 1, it starts on 1407. That's to indicate that it's been extracted from a larger work. So that means it's a framed narrative. It's a story within a story. And on the right, we have a rhyme scheme, but as has been stated, the rhyme scheme was imitated by the person who transposed it into a newer form of English for modern readers. So I'll back it out a little bit, and you can see I've got the word accented here, and that points to the line that shows that it's accented, and then the U indicates that it's unaccented. And so you would see this done in sections of 5 if it was iambic pentameter, and you would see this done in sections of 3 if it was done in iambic trimeter. I've written a blog post that summarizes the story of the Tale of Florent, to which I will link here in the video. There are two covenants that Florent has to deal with in the Tale of Florent. Covenants are important to the story because in medieval times, the covenant was sacred. It was something that everyone took seriously. If you had a covenant with some entity, that was a kind of a deal that you did not break whatsoever. And it may come from the notion that there were covenants between God and the tribes of Israel in the Bible. So religion was pretty intense in the medieval age. The notion of covenants is part and parcel to the life of a knight in medieval times. The first covenant that Florent has to deal with is the court order in which, after killing Brancus, the son of the castle captain, the grandmother suggests that Florent is free to go, but he has to answer a question and come back and bring the answer. So he's free to go, but if he doesn't come back, then he might have a price on his head. But what's more important actually during this age is that he's being held to his word, that he will return to bring them the answer, whether or not he has the answer or not. He has to hold to the covenant. The second one is the pact that he makes with the Lothly lady. She is an ugly woman who is beneath a tree. He encounters her. She offers him the answer that he's seeking, and he has to go tell the answer to the court. But after he's done with that, he's pledged, he's made a covenant with her that he will come back to her and marry her. And if he doesn't, his honor is ruined. So it's not about being chased or hunted down or fear of that. It's fear of losing your honor as a knight. What troth is a mindset of a knight in which he perpetually thinks about the honor that he has and the length to which he will go to keep that honor. He treats it as commitment. He treats it as integrity. He treats it as respect for himself in the way he treats others. And no matter what, he has to hold true to whatever it is that he says and thinks, to whatever it is that he will do with his power as a knight. He has to hold true at all times and at all costs. The Lothly lady is an interesting character because she's actually a trope in these stories from the medieval age. We've seen her actually appear in Beauty and the Beast, where she approaches Beast as an ugly woman, and after he completely blows it or whatever it is that he does, she transforms into a beautiful woman. And what that means is that the Lothly lady is a shape-shifting woman. Her origins are found in Celtic lore, and basically what she does is she is placed in front of the knight who has done something that endangers himself. He's messed up somewhere. She offers to help out with the situation, but it comes at a cost. Generally, the knight has to marry her if he's gonna accept help from her. And hopefully what will happen is that he won't have to be stuck with her being ugly forever. She will magically transform if he holds true to his troth. Lastly, we have the didactic moment at the end of the story, which is also known as the moral of the story. And this comes to us after we've been told the tale, and then now we're back into the overall narrative of the Confessio Amantis. And this is where the chaplain is hearing the confessions of Amans. The point of the story at this point is that Amans is learning how to treat women properly in the medieval age. I want to thank you for watching and learning about literature. And if you like the material and if you like the channel, I would encourage you to subscribe for more content, and we will see you in the next video.